Hi everyone, this is Aaron with Week by Week. I'm a day late this week. It's been a long week. As usual, I don't have much of a plan. I have a small script going on this right now, but for the most part, I'm just going to give you just an overview of last week. I had planned on doing some midweek thing and kind of going over some stuff, but last week, man, was brutal at work. I worked, I don't know, a lot. I'd have to do the math real quick, but it was somewhere high 40s, 50 hours. I was able to take off half a day on Friday and still did that, so that tells you how the week was. That being said, I wasn't prepared to do the things that I wanted to do to talk about in this video. And I probably should have got on and just said something, but I didn't. No excuses. And no explanation. This is not that kind of channel. I don't have my lighting set up very good today. I'm not really. Honestly, guys, it's like after 10 o'clock. I'm exhausted. It's been a long weekend, and I just, if I didn't shoot it tonight, I wasn't going to shoot it. So here I am. Excuse me. But it was a good week. Over the weekend, I had my daughters. We celebrated one of their birthdays. That was fun. Probably spent more money than I need to. It was one of those birthday parties where, for those of you who are parents, you usually invite a bunch of kids and about half of them show up and you're happy. Every single kid showed up. And it's great on one hand, but it's overwhelming on another. I'm doing this by myself. And it was very much, that's not my, I'm not good at that. I'm good at entertaining, I'm good at talking. I'm not good at scheduling the birthday party. So we showed up, cupcakes at a local place, and it was just kind of me shooting from the hip. And it was fun. My daughters had fun, kids had fun, that's all that mattered. There's a little bit of other drama during the week, which obviously I said I wasn't going to talk about my divorce or my ex, and so I'm not going to go into it much. It was just a stressful week, and it didn't need to be. So that's something we can talk about some other time. So I guess what I want to kind of talk about today is debt, mainly because it's on my mind, and it is one of those things that I think coming out of divorce, everyone carries a little bit of it. In my situation, I'm covering a lot of it. I chose in my divorce to not burden my now ex-wife with my debt, or the marital debt, really, is what it came down to, because I was the one who worked. That might have been foolish in some regard. I'm not going to get into numbers yet, but it's significant. I also gave her a cash payout at the end. Again, it was significant. And there was reasons for that. I still think it was the best solution at the time for me. However, it has caused some stress and anxiety right now. Divorce is not cheap. And yeah, there's a lot of debt. So that being said, I'm very, very, very fortunate to have a job and a credit score that allowed me to do that. Unfortunately, I very much hate debt, especially credit card debt, consumer debt. I can kind of justify cars and houses if they're, practical and short term. But I tend not to want debt. It doesn't mean I don't carry it all the time. I just don't like it. So again, I'm an accountant, and it makes me very nervous to throw these numbers out there. I'm not going to give you exact numbers, at least right now. Man, I can't even look at the camera. I'm so nervous about it. But it's significant. It is, it's to the point where I am at a, excuse me, I was checking time. It's at a point where like once I pay all my minimums and my just normal household bills and feed the kids and everything, I have less than $50 a month. Which means I'm one bad day from like all hell breaking loose. Like, as the saying goes, right? So that's a stressful place to be, guys. And it's part of the reason I haven't prepared myself for this video. It's really stressed me out. Last night, I don't have anxiety usually or things like that, but last night I would say I had anxiety. It was definitely one of those deals where it's gonna bother me for a long time, and it's gonna be a long road to get out of it, and I have to figure that out, right? There's no way out of it. I'm not in a place where I can file bankruptcy. I'm not, I'm not fully able to get a second job because of the single parenting situation. Also, with what I do, there are certain non-compete type clauses, ethics, that kind of thing, that prohibit me from, being able to freelance accounting in some ways on the side. And so it is, it's scary. But, and this is where, again, my faith comes into that. My faith is in something higher than my bank account. And I say that, and you can probably see about how well I feel that right now, right? But it's the truth. My faith is in something higher. God has been able to take care of me throughout everything that I've gone through in my life, and I'm sure that He will get me through this. I'm not homeless. I haven't been homeless yet. I'm very fortunate. I know there's people out there that are not. I know there's husbands and wives who went through the divorce, and they are in way worse shape than I am. And I'm not having a pity party. I'm aware of how fortunate I am. I want to be very clear on that. Like, sometimes I complain about these things and sometimes they're hard. I really do understand how fortunate I am on these things. And so I don't want anyone ever to think that I'm not in that spot where I don't see the blessing. But also it's hard, and I think that's okay. I think it's a hard place to be when you have really nothing. We just came out of Christmas and birthday, like I said, the birthday party. I actually had 2 kids' birthday parties in January, and luckily I had saved up. I do, part of my whole budget is I do generally put a little bit of money into a savings account every month as like kind of a general sinking fund. And when I say a little, I mean like $50 to $100 out of my pay goes into this sinking fund for things like, when my tire got a screw in it a couple weeks ago, we talked about, I had the money to patch it. When a birthday comes up, I have the money to do that. My kids' soccer, they need soccer shin guards or cleats or whatever, I have the money to do that. And so, that's only $1,200 a month, or a year, if I put $100 in there every paycheck, or wow, guys. I got ahead of myself. Sorry, I'm tired, and this is what happens when I get tired. If I put $50 a paycheck in there, it's about $1,200 a year. Said it again. And so it's not a lot of money. It's not like I have a ridiculous amount of money in there. And I did have 2 pretty major expenses with the car. I spent some money on my car last week too. I don't know if I brought that up in a previous video, but My door lock failed and I had to get that fixed. I just didn't have I think it was last week, I did not have the time or the patience or I know I could have looked on YouTube and probably figured it out, and I looked at it a little bit, but I just knew if I took the door off the thing, and something went wrong and I couldn't get back on a Saturday, it was going to be a long weekend. So I decided not to chance it and just paid him for it. So yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks. And also it's not. This weekend with the girls was great, you know. One of my girls was getting over a cold, and so I did. Saturday we kind of just chilled out. They call it a pajama day every once in a while, where they don't have to get out of their pajamas and we just kind of hang out inside. And what's great about that Saturday is normally I say that and we watch movies all day. But honestly, we cleaned the house. We did some projects. We hung out, played board games. We got a lot done Saturday, and we didn't have the TV on until they talked me into playing Mario Kart with them right before bed. And they don't have to threaten me with Mario Kart very often for me to get it, you know, dusted off and make little kids cry. There's a couple jokes in my house, and there's no mercy shown in a few games. One of them is Risk. One's Monopoly, because those are probably two of my favorite board games. And then the third is Mario Kart. Like, Dad doesn't take it easy on kids on those games. But when they win, especially in Mario Kart, when those girls win a race, there's a lot of rejoicing. And it's very fun. It's fun for them too. Like, if they're not crying every race, it makes me sound pretty egotistical that I'm, anyway. I'm laughing because if you haven't seen some of those videos online where the dad's like, I saw this video of like the dad showing the teenager about GoldenEye from Nintendo 64, and it was just very funny to me because he's just talking so much trash before the game even loads up. So anyway, that's how Mario Kart is. Yeah, so Saturday was good. Sunday we had the birthday party, and today was a holiday and we took it easy. So as far as debt goes, part of this channel is accountability for myself and for us. And if people actually start watching this, you can come on this journey with me of rebuilding. My plan is this little piece of paper right here. It's from it's a website called Debt Free Charts. I have a whole bunch of them for all my little debts here. That is just my overall one. I will probably keep that in the background, and we will color in like these little blocks as we pay stuff off. And that's going to be part of my accountability, is I'm going to put it there behind me, and as we're talking, sometimes we'll go over it, sometimes we won't. So that will be our next my next accountability thing. I think the next thing I have to do, or one of the next ones, is I'm going to have to I'm probably going to have to start talking about fitness, because that's the other part of this thing. And that I haven't decided on. That's another hard part of it. I really wanted to go get a gym membership again, but given where I'm at financially, I don't think that's going to be possible. I do have a lot of equipment to do stuff at my house, and as this week, it's stupid cold where I live. Again, it's not as cold as some places, but once it gets to a certain point for me, it might as well just be sub-zero. I don't care. Once it gets below, 28, you can just, I don't care what temperature it is. It's all freezing. It's ridiculous. So, I have a lot of stuff I can work out with. I have dumbbell sets from 5 to 50 pairs. I have an exercise bike, which isn't the best bike, but it, you pedal and it goes. I have an actual bike. I have a walking treadmill in there, and so that'll be probably, I have a jump rope somewhere. I think I have enough to do the at-home gym stuff for a while, so I'm off track. That being said, I think that's my week, and that's my video for today. I've rambled a lot. I'm not on track very well today. Like I said, it's after 10:30 now, and I knew that if I didn't record this, it wasn't coming out. So, as always, thank you for checking in with me. The whole goal of the channel, again, is slowly getting better week by week, building on success. And so I would say last week, my first week on this, I thought was a pretty good success. I think the second week was okay. Last week, I would say, was not a great stellar week, but it was a week, and I just had to work a lot, which caused a lot of problems. Not problems, but it caused me not to hit some of my goals because it was mentally exhausting. And so that's okay. 2 out of 3, And so I'm still moving in the right direction. We're still kicking. We're still fighting. So again, thanks for listening. This is Aaron from Week by Week. You guys have a good week.